Ah, yes. Marlin, Nemo, and Dory. While these guys are my favorite Disney characters per se, I can very much see why a lot of people love them. Their interactions with each other are some of the best in the Pixar series, aside from a certain trio we'll get to soon enough. We're continuing our streak of reviewing Pixar characters, and it has been a hot minute since I've talked about these guys. Even if I can't escape included in my TTC series. But I'm getting sidetracked here. This is also the first time since the Teletubbies episode where I'm reviewing a group of characters. But in this case scenario, it's 3. Which is pretty cool, if I do say so myself. So without further ado, let's jump right into what makes these 3 so great. Marlin was initially a very playful, happy, and easygoing clownfish, as shown through the interaction with his wife. He was also shown to be slightly lazy, as he wanted to name half of his children Marlin Jr., and the other half of his children Coral Jr. However, he was also shown to be very brave, as he attempted to defend his wife against the barracuda, who sought to attack his children and his wife, but was ultimately repelled and knocked unconscious and into the sea anemone before he could do anything. This protected him, but also cost him his entire family, with the exception of Nemo, who was left with a crack on his egg, which could have caused his lucky fin. From this moment on, Marlin became overprotective, neurotic, paranoid, worrisome, and pessimistic, as he made several practices and conditions for Nemo and himself to follow to make sure they were protected and safe. He became paranoid and neurotic about any potential danger that could occur to Nemo, and as such rarely left Nemo alone due to the traumatic experience of losing the rest of his family to a barracuda attack, and not wanting the same thing to happen to Nemo. However, his overprotectiveness is what put somewhat of a strain between him and Nemo, as Nemo felt suffocated and oppressed by it. Despite these qualities, Marlin has proven to love his son more than anyone in this world. And it is this love that fuels his determination, strength, courage, and bravery as he journeyed throughout the sea to find his son after he was kidnapped by humans. Marlin overcame with the bravery and courage not seen in his previous behavior to recover the person he loved most in the world, despite the odds being against him. Nemo is a very energetic young clownfish. He's eager to go to school at the beginning of the film, but lazy at the end. He's also quite friendly towards anyone that he meets. His father, Marlin, being overprotective, makes Nemo frustrated most of the time, and eventually results in him being captured by scuba divers. Adventuring and exploring are some of his likes. Nemo can also be very brave, as shown when he is willing to risk his life to jam the filter after hearing about all his father had done to come and save him, when he willingly entered the net that captured Dory and a school of fish to lead them to freedom. Nemo demonstrated remarkable leadership, as seen when he led a school of fish to direct them to swim downward to break the net that captured them. What a brave Chad! Dory is very optimistic and kind, but a ditzy and forgetful fish. This is because she suffers from short-term memory loss. However, she has a heart of gold and was willing to go full lengths to help Marlin find his son, even though she can never remember his name. She is also very friendly, fun, and warm-hearted, and they are fast friends. Her kindness was shown as she continued to accompany Marlin on his journey despite his lack of patience with her and his sometimes harsh comments. She developed such a close relationship with Marlin that her short-term memory loss seemed to improve. Despite her ditzy personality, Dory is shown to be somewhat intelligent, as she can read human, and even communicate with whales, which I will admit is quite hilarious. She also helped Marlin realize that he needed to give Nemo more freedom to grow up, become his own person, and experience life. Dory also possesses something of a ruthless side. While trying to get information from a crab, she threatens to feed him to seagulls if he didn't tell her and Nemo what they wanted to know. That is actually quite hilarious, I will admit. Dory is also shown to have separation anxiety, as she begged Marlin not to leave her after returning to the sea by Nigel's mouth. She cries, telling him that no one has ever struck with her so long before. She shows it again in Finding Dory, when she gets lost from the school group for a brief minute, and again when she remembers her family, swimming away from Marlin and Nemo, and then slightly panicking as she can't find them before hearing Marlin's voice and swimming back. She shows it again after being separated from them later, and then again after she is told her parents are dead and washed down the drain. Finally, she shows it one last time on the reef, getting nervous as she finds herself alone before remembering the game. When it comes to the trio's voice actors, well, like Beta, there isn't a whole lot to say. For Marlin and Dory, we only have one. Albert Brooks for Marlin and Ellen DeGeneres. Yep, that Ellen DeGeneres for Dory. However, for Nemo, we have two, but for understandable reasons. Alexander Gould in the first movie and Hayden Rollins in the sequel. All of these voice actors do an amazing job of bringing these characters to life in some way, especially when it came to Marlin shouting in the first movie. You could tell that Brooks was really having a great job doing these parts. Funny thing is, even though there are only 2 movies to cover in terms of source material, there are actually quite a lot of standout moments for these guys. So as you can imagine, it was very hard to pick what the 3 standout moment was in the series. But after this latest rewatch of the 2 movies, they finally come to a conclusion as to what the standout moment is. And it shouldn't come as a surprise to those who watch my channel. It's one specific scene from the sequel. Random side note, I researched this page on Wikipedia one time and what the hell? Why does it say that this is a spin-off movie instead of a sequel? That's weird. Why did they do that? Anyway, the one scene that I picked from the sequel is that one scene in the pipes. In this scene, Dory wonders if her parents will want to see her again. But Marlin reassures her that her parents will be over the moon to see her. And then, after Marlin mentions Nemo thinking about what Dory would do, we get this very wholesome sequence, complete with a callback to the first movie. When I first saw this back in 2016, my heart completely melted. After watching this scene for so long, it really makes me emotional just seeing it. It's beautiful. One of the best scenes in the whole franchise, if I'm honest. And as for low points, well, like the Teletubbies of the Queen, I don't think that there's a single moment where the 3 act unlikable. Yeah, Marlin was kind of a jerk to Dory after Nemo was injured, but that scene felt more impactful rather than mean-spirited. At least in my opinion. So, I guess it's smooth sailing. Again. Marlin, Nemo, and Dory have quite a lot of history behind them. Not just because of the fact that they're based on real-life fish, adding to that a little bit of realism, but it's the journey that each character has been on that is really impactful. And it's so easy to see why they're fan favorites, especially in Dory's case. I can easily see why Sabrina relates to these guys a lot, particularly Marlin and Nemo, since they're orange. I don't know if we're ever gonna get a third Finding Nemo movie, But to be honest, I really want to see it. That's saying something considering that Finding Dory is my second favorite Pixar film of all time. But I sure hope that this won't be the last time we see these guys on the silver screen. Well, except for maybe fan content. But that's neither here nor there. Whew. That was quite a lot to cover. But I hope you guys enjoyed this retrospective. In the next installment, we will be covering our third group of characters from the last Pixar characters we will be covering: Woody, Buzz, and Jessie. I'm actually quite excited to be reviewing these guys, as I am quite a big fan of the Toy Story series. If you guys enjoyed this retrospective, please leave a like and subscribe to not miss out on all the content that goes up on the channel. And I will see you all next time for the 7th episode of the Character Highlight Reel. Bye guys.